In middle school is when I really got interested in Pearl Harbor. I enjoyed reading and learning about World War II. Not only is Pearl Harbor one of my favorite movies of all time, but the attack on Pearl Harbor is one of the most interesting wars to me. I hope to one day visit the memorial that is located on the USS Arizona, which was sunk on that Sunday morning in December. It takes courageous men and women to come together and fight back in a spur of the moment due to surprise attack by the Japanese on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. Pearl Harbor is located on the south side island of Oahu. Pearl Harbor is home to the U.S. Naval Base, which was established in 1899. The U.S. would stop supplying Japan with raw materials, so the Japanese decided that the best place to get these materials would be from the Dutch East Indies. The Japanese knew that if they took over the Dutch East Indies, that the U.S. would come into war. So to ensure that the U.S. would not mess up their plans, they made a decision to attack Pearl Harbor. This would buy them time to take over and get the materials needed. On Sunday, December 7, 1941, at 7:55 a.m., the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor was woken up by the surprise attack by the Japanese. After 45 minutes of shooting and bombing at 8:40 a.m., the Japanese sent a second set of planes to finish the attack on Pearl Harbor. While flying over Pearl Harbor, the Japanese commander yelled out, "Tora, Tora, Tora," which also meant tiger, 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 which let the men know that they had caught the U.S. off guard. The attack lasted a total of 110 minutes from 7:55 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. The death total was 2,335 U.S. servicemen killed and 1,143 were wounded. 68 civilians were killed and 35 were wounded. The Japanese only lost 65 men and one soldier being captured. The commander-in-chief was husband Edward Kimmel. After the attack, he was removed and was put into a 2-star rank called Rear Admiral, in which he retired from the Navy with that title. President Franklin D. Roosevelt called it a day which will live in infamy. This attack led the U.S. into World War II. There were 2 atomic bombs dropped in regards to the attack on Pearl Harbor. The first was in 1945 on August 6 in Hiroshima. It was referred to as Little Boy. The second atomic bomb was dropped on August 9th of the same year. Its nickname was Fat Man. These were a type of bomb called volcanic cloud bombs. The first bomb killed a range of 90,000 to 166,000 people of all ages, genders, and cultures. The other bomb killed around 80,000 people. On the 15th of August, Japan surrendered to the Allied forces. There were many diseases that came after the actual events, and just 4 months after the dropping of the bombs on these 2 countries, different acute reactions started to show on people's physical health. A few of these are fever, loss of appetite, and headaches. Some diseases were more serious than others. Some of these included cataracts, leukemia, and many other types of cancers. That Sunday morning led to many amazing things like the Pacific Aviation Museum Pearl Harbor on the historic Ford Island. It homes some of the planes that still hold those battle scars from that day that will never be forgotten. It is ranked number 8 on the world's must-see aviation museums. From that December day, we made a memorial out of one of the sunken battleships USS Arizona. The memorial was dedicated on May 30th, 1962. It is located in Pearl Harbor, Honolulu, Oahu. It was designed by Honolulu architect Alfred Pierce. The U.S. Navy requested that it be a bridge that held 200 people. It is high on both ends and sags in the middle, representing the pride before World War II, the depression that set in after the attack, and America's rise to power after the war. Pearl Harbor is the most visited place in Hawaii. On May 25, 2001, Pearl Harbor hit the theaters grossing $198,539,856 by Walt Disney Studios distribution. It was rated PG-13 due to sustained war sequence, image of wounded, brief sensuality in some languages. Its runtime is 3 hours and 2 minutes. The director was Michael Bay. Some of the cast included Ben Affleck, Josh Hartnett, Kate Beckinsale, Cuba Gooding Jr., Alec Baldwin, and John Vaught as President Franklin D. Roosevelt. This is a great film to show people how the attack played out. In conclusion, Pearl Harbor will still be remembered as one of the most surprising attacks on not just Pearl Harbor, but on the U.S. It means a lot to me that I could inform more people about the attack on Pearl Harbor and the amazing things that followed that Sunday morning in December.